everybody. Welcome back to Gooner Gathering After Dark Champions League Special. I am Gooner Lee Mead, joined by the poshest man in sports entertainment, Posh Bertie. How are you this very late evening?
You know what? I am absolutely ecstatic, sir, after what I saw tonight.
Enough about the cricket.
I didn't see any cricket. It rained. So I'm glad I saw some action in the form of the football. Absolutely glorious, as Bobby Roode would say. Watching
Marvellous.
Arsenal beat PSV, our first Champions League match in 6 long years. And boy, what a return it was. And I'm sure we'll get to that. We'll get to it soon. But yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
Although there was one little moment I didn't like. I might actually find that photo and put it in the back end.
If you pop it in our back end, that would be fantastic.
I will pop it in your back end any day of the week, sir.
Well, it is after dark, everyone. So, Tyrrell Gunner TV, big win for the boys. We move on to the new North London derby. Yes, indeed, we will. So, let's get into some of the team news. And obviously, following the game against Everton, Gabriel Martinelli got himself injured, done his hamstring, scoring the offside goal over the weekend. So, was replaced in the lineup by Trossard. I thought that was an easy choice to make. It sounds like Martinelli hasn't been ruled out of North London derby yet, but if a certain maybe Trossard continues his form like he showed tonight, perhaps it might be sensible just to put the reins on Martinelli a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Even if Martinelli is fit and ready for the North London derby, I would still play Trossard. I think he's shown how integral, how brilliant he is in our team. He was one of the best players on the pitch, and he scored a fantastic goal. I would start Trossard against Tottenham on Sunday because I think he definitely offers a lot more in the team.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go to Gooner Forever here in the comments. Raya is so much more commanding in the box. Yeah. Well, I mean, we could go sort of off chronological if you like. We'll answer the question in the chat. That's not a problem for me. Another clean sheet for Raya, which is great from him.
At home as well.
I know we haven't had a clean sheet at the Emirates in quite a while, have we? What did you make? What did you make of his second game and his Champions League debut tonight?
I actually thought he did very well at collecting the ball. He looked calm. He looked composed. He just looked like he was in control every time the ball went to him. He picked up the ball with ease. He didn't have any brilliant saves to make, although he didn't, to be honest.
He probably had a few, but we'll get.
But he was one where he collected the ball. But yeah, you know what? I think Raya, I could get, again, at the moment, at time of recording, I could get used to him in an Arsenal shirt, I think he certainly has taken the goalkeeping position for Arsenal like a duck to water, and I'm glad that is happening. I'm glad we got 2 good goalkeepers in our team.
Yeah, I go with that. It's nice to see. And Gooner Forever continuing on. Trossard, Jesus, Saka, I want to see against Tottenham. It will be interesting to see how Jesus reacts after playing a little bit longer today. Here we go. Another name in the chat. Red Bull Vodka. What a fabulous name that is. I'll have a double. Ødegaard was a total boss today. Tell me the player that you described to me in our chat earlier on that the commentators were referring to him to.
So, as I was watching the game and Ødegaard scored the 4th goal, the commentator said that was Liam Brady, and I quote, Liam Brady reincarnated.
Amazing.
Now you must remember when Liam Brady played for Arsenal, and I
know my history. Yeah,
you said to me that's very high praise for Ødegaard.
Absolutely. Liam Brady was a one of a kind. I tell you, who's better to talk about Liam Brady rather than myself? Yeah. It's Jez. because just has been around
Mm.
the block, and he would have even seen him live. But
Mm.
Liam Brady was a really talented, genuine winger, as opposed to Odegaard, who obviously plays inside. But the skill and composure and the finishing ability that Odegaard has shown there tonight, was absolutely different level. And you said to me in the Man United game, sometimes the captain gets a little bit criticised, doesn't he? Not showing up in the big games. I think was the quote you came up with. Well, do you know what? Tonight was a big game. It might not have been. It's
the
the
strongest opponents.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. When we had the draw, I think the draw was kind of kind to us, but you can only play what you're up against in and tonight was a big night for us. It's a long time to be away from that massive competition, and I don't know about you, but as soon as the lights started flickering and the anticipation for the 8 o'clock kickoff come on, I thought, goodness me, it just felt like a different era almost bringing in to the club. It's almost like it's a bygone era since we've seen it. And Odegaard, the captain, was brilliant all game. I want to say that. The other thing we need to talk about, really, in terms of the starting lineup, was the inclusion of Havertz, which I know is always your favourite player. Havertz came in for Vieira. Do you know what?
Can I just say, first of all, it won't let me show you the picture of Raya's positioning in goal. Unfortunately,
all right,
it won't let me slot it in the back end. So,
let me refer to everyone. We'll talk about our social medias later on. At Posh Bertie and of course at Gooner Gathering on Twitter, X. You'll see our little exchange. I tell you,
why is Raya's positioning there?
Yeah, absolutely. He was, about 20 metres away from the goal, but actually it was all a mirage. You can feel free to show my little edit if you want to, sir. As I'll read the comments here. Next game we're cooking hot Spurs. That's very clever. I like what you did there, Red Bull Vodka. And
I hope so.
And Gooner Forever are saying apparently Arteta close to signing a new 3-year contract extension through to 2027. Could you
win a decent trophy and then we'll talk?
Okay, all right. So there goes the positivity talk. Everybody is
it's true, but
I'd like to know the source of where that piece of news has come from. If Gooner Forever has got that'd be wonderful. So Havertz came into the side for Fabio Vieira, perhaps a little bit of a tactical switch here. I actually think, and you might slate me for this, and I'm expecting that, so whatever. But I actually thought that was Havertz's best game by far. So far in his short Arsenal career, I thought he looked a little bit more confident. He looked very involved in all the play generally. The only thing that was missing off him was the end product. I know he had one shot, certainly the first half, that he rocketed over the bar, but couldn't fault his effort during the game at all.
So one of the most impressive and great things about this important win today was the fact that we played the whole game with 10 men, and PSV had the extra man. I didn't see Havertz anywhere. Apparently Havertz was on the pitch. I didn't see him at all. I don't think he. I didn't see him at all. We played the game with 10 men and we won 4-0. So yeah. Quite frankly, no, but I think he.
Will you stop?
I didn't see him do much. I didn't. He was again quiet, but I think he can get the credit from being in the team that won 4-0. But at the same time, whilst he was quiet, he didn't make any errors. So that I think is a positive.
All right. Okay.
He didn't do anything that made me go, oh, for God's sake. So that is good. That's good. That's some kind of progress, I guess.
All right. Okay. Then. Well, I'm not going to linger on this one as much as I'm sure that the
Mm.
chat and everyone else would want me to. But what I will do is let's go to the first goal, shall we? Because I don't know about you. I was slightly nervous at the start, only because it's
Yeah.
the first Champions. I always get nervous before a match,
Mm.
and it didn't really help me when sort of within 50 seconds Raya had to make a save of Lang cutting inside on the left hand side and having an early shot. However,
Mm.
them nerves were sort of taken away a little bit from a certain young man who I am currently wearing his hoodie at the moment. Yes, I am wearing young Saka's hoodie at the moment. Now, first Champions League game. It's taken him 8 minutes to show his class. Would you talk through his goal?
First of all, you mentioned Lang for PSV. I know
Yeah.
that he lost, but I actually thought he looked quite good whenever he had the ball.
I didn't see him.
Just like Havertz. Believe it or not, before the 6th minute or 8th minute came in, we looked a bit nervous. PSV had a lot more of the ball. They looked more composed, but that was only for the first 5 or 6 minutes. We were then on the attack. Saka with the rebound. I don't know who had the shot first.
It was Odegaard.
It was Odegaard. Okay.
It was the captain involved from the get-go.
Yep. Odegaard with the shot. That was immediately saved. Right place, right time. Saka on the rebound. 1-0. Of all the players to score our first Champions League goal in 6 years, it has to be him. It has to be the blooming star boy himself. It has to be Bukayo. It has to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have accepted anything else.
Oh.
No, I would have. But Bukayo, of all players,
amazing.
You couldn't write it. Beautiful. It's beautiful storytelling.
Absolutely. It doesn't get any better than that. Sort of reminded me of his very first goal in Europa competition as well, actually. If you remember that far back in his 77 shirt. But I want to credit him for he was the only one actually to be pouncing on expecting the goalkeeper to sort of palm it away, and his reactions to finishing it off he's got the lot as that young man. So absolutely,
and he needed to turn up. He needed to put in a good performance because I think you'll agree with me on this. That apart from that fantastic goal against Forest, which was absolutely brilliant, you cannot deny that. I look at the games against Palace, Fulham, even the games that we won. He wasn't. The star boy wasn't star boying as much as we'd like him to. He looked a bit quiet for most of this season. So I'm really pleased. Yes, it was a rebound goal, but I'm very pleased that it took him 6 minutes to get a goal for us, and in the Champions League, no less. So hopefully he can build upon that and become the fantastic player that we know he can be.
Yeah, actually 100% agree. I don't think we've seen the best of Saka at all this season, although he has had his moments and he has had his, like you mentioned, the goal against Forest, the corner against Manchester United. He has had goal involvements. He just hasn't lived up to them big expectations, if you want, that he puts on himself. Understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, tonight was a big game in Europe, and against. Actually, it's important to say this as well. These PSV side aren't any pushovers, right?
No.
They're 4 wins out of 4 in the Dutch league. They just beat Feyenoord.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know where they were in the Dutch league. I wouldn't be able to tell because they were not good today. Yeah, you've actually prepped and I haven't. I mean, it's just like every.
Can I just say a proper journalist notepad here as well? By the way.
Oh my word! There you
go. They actually beat Feyenoord as well in their version of the Charity Shield. They call it the Johan Cruyff Shield, obviously.
But it's important to know, and that PSV, they don't have Cody Gakpo and Xavi Simons anymore, which were 2 of their best players. They did have Irving Lozano off the bench, though, who I always rated all those years ago. Very good young player back a few years ago. But they didn't have the 2 best players. They moved on.
Yeah.
But again, as you mentioned, 4 wins from 4 in the Dutch league, no pushovers whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's fair to say that we were by far the better team.
Yeah, also recognised the centre half formerly of Southampton up there, Ketchup. We might have called Ketchup in the Southampton game, but you remember the one.
Did I?
And
I mean, I think I've called 2 people under Ketchup brands, him and Karl Heinz.
Of course. And Patrick Van Aanholt, the former Crystal Palace left back as well.
Yes, I saw that.
Involved.
I saw you. I don't think he came on. I'm not sure. If he did, he made no impact whatsoever. But
fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, he was a name that I recognise. And Luke de Jong up front, formerly of Newcastle for a brief period of time.
Absolutely.
Was also there.
Absolutely. And this side, of course, beat Rangers 7-3 in the qualifying stages as well. So let's move on a little bit. We started relatively quickly. We could have doubled that not too long after that. Gabriel Jesus, obviously just getting back into the flow of his football as well. Came so close to getting on a Ben White cross. Do you remember this?
I should think so, yeah.
So that means he doesn't remember it, so we'll move on.
No, I know that Ben White had a great game, and I know he was very good going forward. But yeah, I thought Jesus definitely snatched at his chances, especially the third goal, which we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you have a view of the Zinchenko handball that they checked with the VAR?
So it was they checked it VAR, and the check was over very quickly.
Yeah.
I didn't see much in there. It didn't take them about 5 minutes to check it, unlike the whole penalty against United that involved Kai Havertz, where there was a lot of division over whether that was a penalty or not. It wasn't, in my opinion, but that's weeks ago now. I didn't see anything in there, and I think it was a quick check. So
Okay, well, fair enough. Well, then let's move it on, because Arsenal did start incredibly well, and then, of course, I think it's fair to say someone you've been absolutely begging to be on that starting 11 for quite some time. Trossard, another fantastic goal here. This one, another long range shot as well, wasn't it? Outside the penalty area. Of course, from the Star Boys cross as well, Saka's cross. What a brilliant finish! Second goal in 2 for Trossard.
Yeah, 2 in 2 for Leandro Trossard. I was going to say something and I forgot it. But yeah, so fantastic goal from Trossard outside the box, finish into the bottom corner. It's what I expect from him, really, and he was definitely a man of the match contender for me. I know he came off, which I thought was a smart decision when we were 3 or 4-0 up, and we were resting him for Tottenham, much like Saka as well. We actually, for once, didn't take our feet off the gas when we were 3 or 4-0 up. It was fantastic.
You make an excellent point there as well. That rare occasion. Yeah, the rare occasion where Saka didn't play the whole game as well.
The rare occasion where ESR played. But yeah, it's
his first appearance of the season.
Very great goal from Trossard, and I do hope he starts against Tottenham, which it's a bit touch and go over Martinelli, but I expect him to start.
Yeah, that's
he's on fine form at the moment.
Exactly, and there wouldn't be any need to rush Martinelli back, was there really? Especially if you think the likes of my boy Nketiah and Reece Nelson and the others are around. Fabio Vieira as well. Let's give him a bit of a shout out. He's had a decent run in the side. Had a decent game. Can he come on the substitute today as well? But let's get this. I want to point. There was one chance I think I counted, which is probably worth just brushing over, really, which was the corner kick that the former Southampton man Kotchap got up with the header from the corner kick. Relatively easy save from Raya though. And and just before the break, 37 minutes, Gabby gets his goal himself. Gabriel Jesus on the end of a Trossard cross from the left-hand side this time. Jesus had one touch and then the finish.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's his second goal of the season following the Man United game. And that's 1 + 1. That's 2. That's maths. Well done, Lee.
Excellent, quick maths.
Yeah.
Brilliant goal from Jesus. Lovely cross from Trossard. Found Jesus, right place, right time. Took one touch, slid it in the back of the net, and cool finish. No chance for the keeper. We are 3-0 up in our first Champions League game in many years.
Yes.
Going into half time, we were in absolute dreamland. And, you know, even when we were 2-0 up, 3-0 up, there was a thought on the back that I thought, okay, look, we're winning, great. But we cannot relax. We cannot just think, yep, job done. Because it happened against Nottingham Forest, didn't it?
Yeah, and, absolutely.
There have been other games where
Welcome,
the opposition have conceded, and we ended up holding on for dear life. And spoiler alert, that did not happen. We were in control for pretty much the entire second half. Fantastic things. Yes, hello, Spencer. Good to see you.
So I haven't got much written down for the second half, and the reason why is because very much for the first sort of 10 minutes or so, I thought Arsenal were very much playing the possession ball without getting very far with it, but playing it sensibly, not creating or not making any mistakes. That's important to say. Not giving PSV any time to breathe, but then it was very much a sort of a quiet period of the whole game, really, until De Jong versus Declan Rice, a bit of a clash in the midfield. Did you see that? And
I did.
Nasty, didn't it?
It's worth noting. Thank God my TV went funny because of the satellite issues with the whole rain going into during the ad break. So of all the times for it to happen, it was during half time. So thank the Lord. There was a bit of a clash between Rice and Luke De Jong, and I did, I'm not the best of lip readers, but I did see Rice tell him to shut up twice, and I thought to myself,
"Would you please be a little bit quiet?"
Oh yes, please. Yeah. But I thought to myself, Declan, don't leave him alone. Don't be like granite. Come on, just
don't.
Just calm yourself down. You're winning 3-0. You're in control. Don't do anything stupid. And he didn't do anything stupid afterwards. I think they kind of not shook hands, but they kind of patted each other on the shoulder afterwards. So I think it was just a little bit of a heat in the moment kind of thing. So
I think it was
thankfully Rice didn't do anything silly.
Yeah, I mean, I think De Jong did sort of catch him with a bit of a late one, and they sort of confronted each other a little bit. But it's all very much heat in the moment kind of stuff, wasn't it? Do you know we sometimes talk about Arteta not making substitutes very early?
Yeah.
Before the hour mark, we had, and this is quite good to talk about because you mentioned obviously with Martinelli being out potentially, and Trossard, who has been fantastic. I had seen Niall Kane's comments. So good to see him. We'll maybe talk about. I don't know if you've seen any of the United game. I would imagine it would have been difficult. TJ, welcome.
Well, I did have my friend Lakin on the phone, and we were watching different games.
Yeah.
Hello, TJ. Good to see you.
It is excellent to see CJ in the chat. Thanks, mate. So Reece Nelson comes on. That he plays this good part. The last third of the game today. I thought that was great to see after his injuries and bad luck. He's getting some decent game time. I would imagine next midweek he'll probably see a decent bit of action in the Carabao Cup as well. So I nearly called it a Carabao Cup for some reason. I think someone else might have coined that one. But yeah, Reece came on. Tommy Asu came on as well to play at the proper left back position.
we had a proper left back. Emil Smith Rowe was playing, and we didn't take our feet off the gas when we were 3 and 4-0 up. This is a dream, isn't it? I'm dreaming.
You're going to wake up in a minute.
I'm going to wake up and realise that it's like 0-0 at half time or something. And,
don't.
And we had a penalty overturned by VAR or something like that.
Look, I might be delusional or I might be hallucinating or something because I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. So, but I hope it really did happen. And then I've run home. I've got caught in look at my hair's all wet, and literally runched in to do this. Gabriel Jesus in fault just after the substitutions, and where Jesus should have scored, and it was Havertz who assisted it with the pass to him, but you might not remember that.
So, was this a goal?
No, it wasn't. But
exactly.
But he couldn't do that.
Havertz didn't get an assist then.
No, he didn't. But he gave him the chance to score, didn't he?
Yes. Well, Jesus.
Blinking hell, he's hard work, guys. He's really hard work.
Joel, I think obviously it wasn't a goal, so. But look, overall, I thought the team played incredibly well. And we did cook them, as TJ said. And it was, I mean, you couldn't. And I'm speechless. First Champions League game in 6 years, and we do that. I am excited. I'm very pleased.
He is excited. So let's read Spencer's comment here. The potential to cook teams has always been there this season, just hasn't been clinical enough. More of these results are coming this year. Yeah, I actually felt this is a really great point because it's actually the first time pretty much for the whole solid, pretty much the 90 minutes of it, our football was flowing. We were playing some of our best stuff. And
it felt like the Arsenal of 90% of last season.
We scored 4 and we could have had 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Is my feeling. Have I gone the wrong page? Let me I don't have much more to say really, other than, as you mentioned, ESR came on as well, as did Vieira.
Odegaard scored as well.
And I was just going to say, for the 70th minute, I did notice that Vieira, ESR, and Nelson all involved in the skipper's goal as well.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people were unhappy at Trossard going off so early for Reece Nelson, and I suppose being the best player and at the time and everything. So no, I meant during the game he was one of Arsenal's best players.
I thought you were doing your bit again.
My words again.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, But the substitutions I thought worked very well because, as you mentioned, the 3 subs: Smith Rowe, Nelson, and my mind's gone blank.
Vieira.
Who was it? Fabio Vieira, all setting up Odegaard's goal, which was a very lovely finish. 4-0, and it was just nice to see us still going, still pressing forward at 3-0 up as well. We weren't being lazy. We weren't getting restless. We were, we were still being in control, and we still looked calm and composed as well as we did it. Good to see.
And the only other thing I have written down in my notepad is Jorginho coming on for Declan Rice. So Rice got a little bit of a rest prior to the North London derby for Sunday.
Saka as well came off, which is a rarity, and that's actually quite good to see because we hear he's been dealing with a bit of injury problems. So it's good to finally see him getting the rest that he deserves. Yeah. And I hope that he'll be fit and ready for Tottenham on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. Spencer with the comment saying, I've got 0 complaints. 6 years out of the Champions League, and you send that sort of statement. You love to see it. We did mention Spurs just then. I do want to just take 30 seconds just to say a little bit of early team news for Spurs, and Ivan Perisic.
What really? What European competition are they in?
They're not. But I just wanted to just being serious just for a second, because it's
Yeah.
a bad injury to Ivan Perisic to his ACL. It's a non-contact sort of issue in training today, and he's going to miss about 5-6 months, according to Fabrizio Romano. And
Yeah.
as much as local rivalries are, no one likes to see injuries. We've seen plenty of ACLs along our way as well. So I do want to wish him best wishes. Perisic is actually at the other end of his career here. He's actually sort of veteran sort of stages, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you kind of worry about coming back for an injury like that. And I just want to wish him all the best on his recovery. I'm sure you'll echo them statements.
Absolutely. I've always thought he was a very good player. I notice how nowadays he drops deeper to the more left back position now as he's getting older, I think. But yeah, it's always unfortunate to have a player, local rivals or not. It's always unfortunate for a player like Perisic to get an injury like that. ACLs, they're coming thick and fast nowadays, and it's always unfortunate to see that. We know how it feels with Timber.
Of course. Not only that, but Leah Williamson, Beth
Mead,
Mead, Vivian Miedemar, etc., etc. But just back to our game, just to finish us off, really, for tonight, really. Wasn't it nice to have that game in the Champions League where we're back for the first time in ages? We started quickly, ended really well, had no issues, no dramas, no worrying about where the next goal was coming for, unlike what happened to United today.
I mean, so I was on the phone to my good friend Laken, who is, I've mentioned before, big United fan.
Doing a gathering alumni, I think.
Made an audio appearance on the channel at half-time during the Man United game, even though no one could understand a word he was saying because I didn't put the phone close to the camera.
Oops.
But I mean, their game was probably more exciting than ours. For the neutrals anyway. Was it 4-3, and both 2 goals were scored in added time. Obviously I was a very wise man, and I'm not a Man United fan. So I do have taste. So, I can't really comment on exactly. I can't really comment on that kind of problem. I haven't seen the game. I haven't seen the goals. But yeah, I have never. But I have never felt more like singing the blues. Arsenal win, United lose. So yeah, excellent.
Absolutely. So I reckon that's probably just about gonna finish our sort of summing up briefly, because I've had a very long day. It's very late at night, and what I do want to say is we're going to gathering is going to have a little bit of a day break. We are going to be back on Friday. We are going to have a special guest with us on Friday. We are bringing in Harry Scarr from the Tottenham side of things, just to come in and balance the argument a little bit. It'll be very interesting to see his take on what's going to happen on Sunday. Also, to point out, on Sunday, myself and the poshest man in sports entertainment will be in the commentary box once more for a ride and a half, I'm sure. And it's always a joy and a pleasure to share commentary duty with you. So that's just about us for this evening. As Bertie's brought up, there was a little bit of a conversation we had on X, on Twitter. Make sure you see our little edits on the emptying of one goal, but another goal going up it was in the first half, wasn't it? That was.
And if that was the case, PSV still couldn't score.
Yeah, true. But that will wrap us up for now. I do want to say a big thank you to our audience who've been tuning in their droves over the last couple of weeks as well. So if you're watching us live, if you've been watching us on demand, if you've seen some of our shorts and everything, we've had some absolutely crazy figures over the last sort of couple of weeks. So thank you all very much indeed. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Make sure you hit the bell icon to receive all our notifications. And oh, hello! Look
Hello.
who's
Yes,
look
Arsenal
look
did win. Did United
yes.
win? Did you win?
It's nice to see you, Devil.
Good to
Unfortunately,
see you.
we are just about to head out of here, but
Hmm.
please feel free to watch us in the playback, because we are going to get out of here. Posh, would you like to do your social medias, please?
Yes, you can. You can follow me on Twitter or X at PoshBertie and Instagram at Bertie Wanless.
Thank you very much indeed. You can find me at Goonerly Mead. You can find us here at Gooner Gathering. Make sure you find us on TikTok as well for our hilarious little clips. And as we have one final comment on there, PSV or Bayern bigger team. That's for one for you to decide, ladies and gentlemen. We are
Well, you know,
out of here.
3 points, 0 points. Not you, Devil. You know.
Hold on. Do. See you later, everybody.
The
Have a good evening.
champion.